Today on the list, beer that was created by AI. More must-see music tours heading your way, and why allergy season doesn't have to be a nightmare.
Saline is a great hydrator and cleaner and antibacterial.
Plus, what to know before starting a workplace romance.
There's precedents typically and rules that are acceptable within any corporate environment.
But up first, how to preserve your family's DNA history. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy Rhodes.
And I'm Christina Guerrero. You know, when someone touches your life, well, it is natural that you want to honor them in a way that is unique and special as they are.
I met a woman who's devoted herself to this. She helps people plan different ways to remember someone who's died.
Yeah, and there is no doubt some of her ideas will be brand new to you.
We're looking at ways to memorialize a loved one, and that's our featured story at the top of the list.
There are more ways than ever to remember your loved ones.
We believe in every option to every family every time.
We turn to Elisa Krisilik, Vice President of Mountain View Funeral Home Cemetery and Crematory in Mesa, Arizona, to learn about a few. First, a high-tech option for tombstones, QR codes.
These QR codes, I recognize them from restaurant menus.
Yes.
How are you using them?
On memorials in the cemetery, you can purchase a tag and you can put as the family whatever you want. You could put pictures, you could put video.
You scan the code with your phone and it takes you to a personalized digital memorial page with photos, videos, and memories shared by family and friends.
It's just the coolest thing for people to be able to connect in a living way with a memorial that's got their loved one's name and when they were born and when they passed away.
You can also allow other people to upload their own photos.
So it becomes a living tribute that continually gets updated.
Next, to keep loved ones even closer, hand casts and thumbprint jewelry.
Now, this is fascinating to me. What is this and how did you do it?
These are actual hand casts. It could be your loved one. It could be you and your loved one.
Okay.
It could be a family.
An artist can create a hand cast while someone is alive, but most often it's made after they're deceased. Relatives can hold their hands during this process.
Feel the detail on that. Like
Yeah,
you could feel
it looks so realistic
Isn't that
too.
cool? In this case, she had rings on, so you can see the detail of her wedding ring.
Some people are very tactile.
That's right.
The sense of touch is very
That's
important. And so this 3D representation is very, well, hands-on.
There you go. Exactly.
And with thumbprint jewelry, you can carry a little memento of your loved one with you wherever you go. These prints are also obtained before or after the person has passed.
Where you can take your loved one's print and you can have it into a ring, a necklace, or even like a dog tag.
Elisa says a grandmother made these for her 11 grandchildren with a message engraved. Finally, DNA storage.
This actually will hold your DNA.
It's like a genetic time capsule.
Now, if there's been no blood transfusions, we take a vial of blood.
Okay.
If there's been a blood transfusion, then we use hair follicles.
A recent blood transfusion could distort the DNA, so hair follicles are used in those cases instead.
They do a complete mapping, and the actual DNA is stored in this tube.
Down the road, it can help you research genes related to healthcare decisions or even genealogy.
Anytime you would want to have something tested from it, then we would send the tube back in.
So everything you could do with a DNA test, you could do now after the fact because you have preserved it.
Yes.
New ways you can keep memories of loved ones alive at the top of the list.
Springtime. Everyone seems to have the sniffles, eyes are itching, and your coworkers are getting bless you fatigue. Now, sure, you can go to the drugstore and get something that makes you zippy and sleepy and grumpy, but we have some natural remedies that could help ease your allergies.
Sneezing, coughing, wheezing. Yup, it's that time again.
It's going to be a bad one, I'm telling you. With all this wet weather and precipitation, the trees and the plants are thriving, but that also means it's going to be very green and there's going to be a lot of pollen this year.
To help relieve those allergies the natural way, we spoke with Dr. Julie Wendt, physician at Relieve Allergy, Asthma, and Hives. Starting with lifestyle changes.
Avoidance of allergies involves minimizing your exposure. If you're pollen allergic, it's outside. If you're dog or cat allergic, that's inside. So spending most of your time in that opposite scenario.
You can also do some things around the house for environmental control.
Closing the doors and windows, let the air conditioning and heating do the work for you. Changing filters on a monthly basis so that the pollen count is decreased in the house. Taking off shoes when you walk indoors so that you're not tracking pollen through the house. And then environmental changes like moving carpeting to hardwood floor that's easier to clean and isn't going to concentrate that pollen in one spot.
Next, try a sinus rinse.
I also mean rinses of your actual target organs. Eye rinses for people who are eye allergic, sinus rinses for people who have nasal allergies.
The best to use is a sterile buffered saline.
Saline is a great hydrator and cleaner and antibacterial. You want to make sure it's gentle so that it doesn't leave any water in the sinus areas because it can get stuck when your sinuses are congested.
Next up, keep your vitamin and micronutrient levels normal, which you can get checked at your doctor.
We have evidence that when patients are low in vitamin D, they can have issues with allergies because it has an important cofactor function in the immune system, and the cells need it to continue normally.
This is the same for your zinc levels.
We correlate zinc deficiency with asthma flares, and it's actually used to treat severe asthma flares in the emergency department routinely and has been for years. There are maybe others that are important, but these are the ones that we really have strong evidence for, and I can categorically say you need to watch these.
She also recommends eating clean, organic products free of pesticides. And if it seems like there is no end in sight with your allergies, ask your doctor about allergy shots. We're relieving your allergies the natural way.
A new survey found a third of U.S. workers are or have been involved in a workplace romance, and half reported they've had a crush on a coworker. Now, meeting at work can be a storybook beginning or an HR nightmare, so Zach Perry's looking at things you should consider before starting a workplace romance.
Love may be blind, but following your heart at the workplace can be treacherous.
Any risk to that relationship or the breakup or not planning in advance how either of you are going to deal with it could risk your earning potential. It could risk your career, your reputation.
For tips on how to navigate these tempting but turbulent waters, we spoke to celebrity matchmaker and relationship expert Carmelia Ray. For starters, carefully weigh the pros and cons.
Having an attraction to a coworker, it's natural, right? You have your work wife, your work husband, and that's all fun.
But if it turns into a full-fledged relationship,
you have to consider the fact that this is your workplace, and not everybody's going to be a fan of you working together.
So,
is this romance something based on lust? Is there real substance in this relationship?
While an office romance can put a lot more adrenaline in your workday,
what are your rules about other relationships? Is your partner jealous? Do you have to manage what you say and what you do around other people?
And don't forget to talk to human resources.
Because there's precedents typically and rules that are acceptable within any corporate environment.
Next, get some intel.
People at work may be very different than who they are outside of work.
So do a little digging by asking people who know this person.
What are they like outside of the office?
Carmelia says to check their social media.
What are they posting online? If you Google them, everybody will typically Google their partner. Is there anything there that would be a red flag?
But definitely avoid being a stalker.
You definitely want to avoid being overly persistent, right? And you don't want to be sneaky about it. Before you consider going out with somebody, make sure there's mutual interest.
Finally, agree on an exit strategy.
If you're entering this blindly and not considering that this relationship may not be permanent, you may be caught in a very uncomfortable place.
So have a conversation about what happens if the relationship has to come to an end.
Because you might have two very different views about what an exit strategy looks like.
You don't want to make assumptions.
Well, I'm not going. You should be the one going. You should transfer, right?
Or it could be a situation
where they might not be thinking, well, I don't want to exit.
Because of the potential awkwardness, and office romance takes a lot of communication and compromise.
You may have a completely different view about who should leave the company if that's the choice, or you may be assumptive that you are on the same page. So make sure that you avoid trying to control the outcome.
How to make an office romance work for you.
Still to come on the list, what jazz music can teach us about life.
Jazz gets inside your subconscious. It gets you to think and reflect.
And breweries that are bubbling up with fun.
Popular. You're gonna be popular.
Plus,
I'm that girl.
why Beyonce's concert tour has people buzzing.
We have no idea what's happening, but whatever she is, it is sure to be attention grabbing.
All that and more ahead on the list.
We're back, and April is Jazz Appreciation Month, but there are so many more reasons to love the genre.
That's right. Guess what? Turns out a study finds those who listen to it are also the happiest of music fans.
Who knew? Hadi Jamal's looking at some of the life lessons we can all learn from jazz.
The origins of jazz music date back to 19th century New Orleans.
This is where all of the cultures have come together as it relates to European music, African music, Spanish music. All of them have come together to create what we know as jazz music today.
Sean Dobbins is a jazz performer and associate professor of jazz studies at Indiana University. He helps us celebrate the genre this Jazz Appreciation Month, as he walks us through just some of the life lessons the sound of jazz can teach us.
The feeling that people get, if they truly listen to jazz, they will find something about it that resonates with them.
First up, jazz music reminds us to take a moment to relax.
Jazz gets inside your subconscious. It gets you to think and reflect. And I think some music may not allow you to do that. It gives you time to actually appreciate the music.
According to counseling services at the University of Nevada, Reno, light jazz has the ability to relieve stress.
Someone that says it helps you relax, it's like, yeah, you get an opportunity to actually appreciate art in a very relaxed setting.
And one of the key characteristics of jazz is its use of improvisation.
Jazz is about being able to tell a story through the music.
Something that encourages individual self-expression.
It allows for an individual understanding or individual approach and an individual presentation of music. You can express yourself in so many different ways.
And whether you perform or love to listen to the genre, you'll find that jazz teaches us the importance of community and inclusion.
I look at jazz as one big giant house, and everybody has a door. And that's how I describe jazz to people. Something for everybody.
Especially in a live setting where audiences and performers feed off of each other's energy.
We're all together and we all love the same thing. And we all love the same things about the same thing, which I think that's what makes it special.
Our celebration of the musical magic and the life lessons that come with the sound of jazz.
Okay, you'll probably hear some extra TGIFing this week because this Friday is National Beer Day. Teresa Strasser's tapping into a list of breweries that honor the suds every day of the year. Hey, Teresa.
Thank you. With more than 580,000 likes combined, these breweries are making the workplace fun and showing us the inside workings of a brewery. Coming in at number 1, Night Shift Brewing.
Artificial intelligence picked a hazy IPA for us to brew and came up with a pretty awesome recipe that we followed. AIPA.
They're a local brewery in Boston, Massachusetts, started by a trio of roommates who originally just made beer for their friends and family.
Around 2011, we finally decided we wanted to take this awesome night shift hobby and turn it into something more than that.
And now, along with trying trends on the internet like their AI beer, they're sharing the fun journey of what running a brewing company looks like. It's like we're there. At number 2, Tailgate Brewery.
And I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things. Yeah, yeah. I'm not afraid of the moment.
This is an independent Tennessee craft brewery and pizzeria with 5 different locations. On their account, they share some things that make their operation a bit different.
So here at Tailgate, we've got a little fill tech. What it does, it x-rays the very, very top part. When it notices that the fill length is not quite where it needs to be, it'll kick it out.
And give you tips you didn't know you needed.
If you see any bubbles like clinging to the side of your glass, that's a dirty glass and you definitely don't want to drink that beer.
Okay, gross, and also good to know. And last on our list of breweries on TikTok, Flicks Brewhouse, Des Moines. Flicks Brewhouse has many locations all over the U.S., but the Des Moines location caught our attention with their funny TikToks.
Popular. You're gonna be popular.
This brewery is also making some pretty interesting beers. Yeah, good thing that's only a 10-second TikTok because I had to watch it a dozen times. Make that a baker's dozen? And those were some fun breweries on TikTok showing us that beer is their love language. More to come on the list. Stay with us.
For more of the list's entertainment interviews, check out the Guest List, our exclusive online-only series on YouTube.
It's a journey that the audience goes on with me at the same time.
It's the best way to start out a movie, for me, in that part.
Become a Hollywood insider with The List at The List Show TV.
We are back and on the playlist today. Good news if you like concerts, because 2023 is shaping up to be a monster year for live music. Jackie Denker looks at some of the mega stars hitting the road and the stage.
Your favorite music stars are making up for lost time and delivering live shows like never before.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, and Bruce Springsteen are currently on the road. And there are more tours to look forward to.
We're actually doing it. It's happening.
Here to highlight 4 of them is Jem Aswad, Deputy Music Editor at Variety.
This year, touring really came back. Last year was a really big return, but this year the blockbusters are coming back.
We begin with Drake. In June, he's heading on his It's All a Blur tour with 21 Savage.
He's themed it a celebration of his 10 years. That suggests it's going to be a hits tour. But I would expect him to nod to each album relatively equally on this tour, and that's what fans want.
Find details at drakerelated.com.
God's plan.
We move on to Beyonce.
I'm that girl.
Her Renaissance World Tour supports her latest album of the same name and follows her 2016 Formation World Tour.
It was just amazing. So is she going to continue to raise the bar? We have no idea what's happening, but whatever she is, it is sure to be attention grabbing.
Ticket info is at tour.beyonce.com. Next on our list of stars hitting the road soon, Pink. U.S. dates for her Summer Carnival Tour begins July 26th and follows the release of her Trust Fall album in February.
As a performer, she is mind-boggling. I'll go to see her any day of the week because she's such an incredible performer and such an incredible singer.
Check out pinksummercarnival.com for details. We're wrapping it up with Guns N' Roses. The rock and roll legends will play all of their classic hits at nearly 40 stops around the world.
Guns N' Roses is one of those bands, they're like a heritage act, a classic rock act. They know what the audience wants and they deliver it.
Ticket info can be found at gunsnroses.com/tour. Getting you pumped for live music on the playlist.
So fun. All of those tours look amazing, but I don't think scoring tickets is in the stars for me this year.
All right, well, forget the stars, KG, because it's the moon that's having a moment. The TikTok trend to find your soulmate, last on our list, is next.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's time for what's last on our list. And Jimmy, from Newsweek, what is the moon phase TikTok trend? How to calculate your compatibility. TikTok's calling this the moon phase soulmate trend.
Okay, that sounds totally legit. Lay it on me.
All right, don't blame the messenger. Here's how it works. The moon is always either waxing, getting bigger, or waning, getting smaller. And there are 4 phases in each category. New.
Okay, gotcha. So like waxing new or waning new.
Exactly. Crescent.
Named after the Pillsbury crescent rolls, yeah.
No, this is confusing enough. Okay, the first and last quarter, and gibbous.
Named after those monkeys with the super long arms.
No,
Yeah.
Jimmy, those are gibbons. You are trying to torpedo this trend.
Oh no, it's gonna do that all on its own. I got my popcorn ready.
Okay, so here's what you do. You look at the phase of the moon on the day you were born and compare it with the phase of the moon on the day your person was born. And if the 2 images match each other, then, according to TikTok at least, you are soulmates.
Oh, that sounds like science.
Jimmy, it is science, okay? And you're not being any fun.
Okay, no fun. Listen to this. Not for being soulmates, but just for compatibility at work. Okay. I actually looked up our respective birth date moon phases to see if we completed each other.
Now that is fun, okay?
And not only do we not complete each other, we're both waxing gibbons or waxing gibbous or whatever it is. We're identical. Therefore, we're mortal enemies according to this TikTok trend.
And you say it's not scientific. I disagree. And friends, that's what's last on our list. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Tomorrow on the list, how your diet affects your mind.
Thoughts are the most important food that we feed our brain on a daily basis.
Plus,
tell me what I ought to be tasting for here.
Uncork the perfect wines for warm weather.
Wow, that lavender really kicks you in the face. It's delicious.
And the easy-to-use smartphone that's perfect for seniors.
After 3 rings, it will pick up on its own, and you could say, Grandpa, Grandpa, are you there? It's me.
Tomorrow on the list.